Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Studio audience is a little behind today. Isn't this lovely? We're all gathered here together, all right? So last week I was supposed to play a little video right off the top, but before we get into it, I fucking tricked you. Okay, if you're an Edmonton comedian, guess what? You probably came to episode 101 thinking I was going to play your little video, didn't you? And I tricked you because I'm the best at tricking people. So now you got to watch this episode to see your stupid little fucking video you gave me. No, but there's a video Nick McQuick put together that we're going to watch. It's celebrating the 100th episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Before that, though, September 29th, Salmon Arm tour dates. That's right, we're talking tour dates. September 29th, Salmon Arm. September 30th, Kelowna. Right now, early show tickets are almost sold out. Thinking of throwing a late show up out there in Kelowna. Yeah, fuck yeah. October 1st, Kamloops early show sold out. Selling out shows, baby. So a late show has now since been added. Edson, Alberta, October 14th. Oh, fuck, I'm not even saying the dates. Jesus Christ. September 29th, Salmon Arms. September 30th, Kelowna. October 1st, Kamloops, late show added, like we just said. October 14th, Edson, Alberta. October 15th, Olds, Alberta. I think there's only like 10 or 15 tickets left in Olds. So I would imagine by the time that this is out, that show is sold out. 2 sold out shows. Holy shit, look at this guy go. Big episode today. Big Trudy over in London. We love covering Big Trudy around here. We're a big fan of him, as you can see. You know, the greatest prime minister to ever take the throne here in Canada. You know, the king cuck of them all. We love him. We even, you know, we got the tongue out big iconic Trudy behind us because that's how much we support this guy on this show. He's the best. He is. There's never not a good clip coming out of that guy, right? He's out there belting his heart out, singing some Queen in London for the folks. And then they were like, well, no, this happened like a couple weeks ago. Come on. Guy's a showman. You don't think that he's not going to go over to London and let him know that he hits the karaoke mics in town while he's back in Ottawa? You don't think that he's going to belt one out for the fellas and the ladies over there and the non-binaries? Of course he isn't. And lastly, Oakville teacher wearing those big fake prosthetic tits to teach shop class. We'll talk about that. And we got some hate mail. We finally got the hate mail, okay? So we'll get into that too. But first and foremost, let's get into let's get into our this lovely little video that was made, okay? These are all Edmonton comedians.
Man, today I saw a dude having...
Now, you can see why the Edmonton comedy scene is thriving because they throw on this right here, right? The economy of words and the vocabulary being spewed out this early, 7 seconds into the video, and he is just getting to the point right out of the gate.
And a shirt saying, it's time for a Second Crusade. And immediately the first person I thought about was Uncle Hack. Uncle Hack, congratulations on having your 100th episode and a whole bunch of members of the Second Crusade as your fans.
Oh, that is lovely.
Man, it's good knowing that...
Edmonton comedians are so good, they laugh at themselves.
You're still keeping it out there, man, keeping racism alive and well and happy.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Ahmed. For those that watched the live stream, that was Ahmed. Next up, Mark Hughes.
Hey, buddy, just wanted to wish you a happy 6 millionth episode.
Oh, boy. Now we have Stephen Darnell.
I'm praying for you, brother. Glad you lived. Hope we see you up and about again real soon. I love you. And that's one more thing Jesus and I have in common.
And the love for the children.
Be good to people.
Gay!
Now, next up, we have Will Hannigan. If they thought that I was just going to go in and appreciate this, no, this is gay, by the way. This is very gay to do. Is put together a nice little video. This is the gayest thing you could have done as comedians. Now, next up, we got Will Hannigan, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man. It's Will Hannigan. Just want to say happy birthday. And on behalf of everybody that I know who knows you. Oh, fuck my blow box.
Well, that noise is very familiar to a lot of those that are listening to this podcast, eh? How many of your conversations have been derailed because your fucking blow box decided at that moment, you're on the phone right in the middle of a great story. You're getting to your point. You're about to hit the big punchline, the big reveal of the story. And all of a sudden, beep, fuck. Happens to the best of us, Willie. It happens to the best of us. Oh, that's hilarious.
There we go. I just want to say, on behalf of everybody that I know who knows you, we all just want to, say we hope that this is your last birthday. You're a racist and a misogynist, so I hope you die getting pegged by a very strong, beautiful woman of color. Mm-hmm. Or, the next key bump you take from some fucking welder in Brooks is laced with fentanyl. Just kidding, man. You're awesome.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. And I don't think that that's a bad way to die. I don't think that's a horrible way to die. I think that's a wonderful way to die, if I'm being honest, Will. Combine the both, and that's a masterpiece, if you ask me. Getting pegged by a big, beautiful, strong woman of color while knocking back a Hollywood of fentanyl. I can see myself soaring to the pearly gates as we reminisce of this happening, as we're discussing this possible outcome of death for me. That sounds like a wonderful way to leave this earth, with a bang. And I put some emphasis on bang.
I love you. I think you're a fantastic comedian, and it's pretty incredible how you figured out how to make so much money off the internet with having such a, limiting learning disability. Buddy, happy birthday. Hope it's a good one.
Yeah, well, Will, I hate to inform you, it's not enough money to remove me from Edmonton. I am making a decent wage for a warehouse affiliate in Edmonton. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay. So, when we say a lot of money, that means like if you went to, maybe Castle Downs, it's an area in Edmonton that we highly don't recommend moving. Actually, you know what? We highly recommend moving into. So now, if we're taking that into consideration, that particular area, I'm probably just, in that limited space, I'm probably middle class in there. And that doesn't mean much. That means like instead of buying Black Ice beer, I'm getting Old Milwaukee. There's a free shout out to Old Milwaukee. Now, fuck you, pay me. So when we're saying like, am I doing well? Well, Depends on who you're asking and who we're comparing me to, okay? Am I doing better than the welder in Brooks that's snorting fentanyl in a motel out in Fox Creek? Probably not. If I'm being honest, probably not. That guy sounds like he's having a good life, you know, away from the wife and kids. Work is also like a vacation. Heading home is hell. So that guy's probably doing a little bit better than me. Just a little bit better than me.
Uncle Hack.
All right, next up we got Jim Kerr.
Coming up on a bit of a milestone, and I suppose now that she's dead, we can finally kind of declare you the winner.
Yeah, and who he's talking about is that woman of color that tried to peg me. Wow. Very bold of you, Jim.
But you're coming up on 100 podcasts. The Queen only made it to 96 years. You sort of eked out that one. Congratulations, my friend. Looking forward to 100 more, brother.
Now, when he says Queen, he means Lizzo, okay? We got breaking news at this show right now. The queen of pop music right now, Lizzo, has died from diabetes, and I have outlived her. My podcast has outlived her. So we want to take time right now, and it is. I'm glad you brought that up, Jim. I'm glad you brought that up. Because we around here now, when we were like Will was talking about earlier, the big, strong, beautiful woman of color, that's who he was referring to. Is because if I'm gonna get fucked with a strap on, I want some oomph behind it, and the most oomph we could find was Lizzo, and unfortunately, she died on a Peloton. Of all things, she died on a Peloton. Her heart rate exceeded, 3,000 beats per minute because of like trying to pump that sludge that what normal people would call blood, but in her case is more like KFC gravy through her veins. We have gotten wind, and I'm glad that Jim has brought that up. Jim's not really one to bring bad news to the not even the podcast, just to the scene in general. But thankfully, he is there to remind us that Lizzo is dead. Thank you for that, Jim.
Nobody's going to take you away, okay? Trudeau's not coming.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, Brendan. It's your old pal, Nick McQuick here.
Yeah, Nick's in a questionable sweater, petting an AR-15 for those that are listening in the truck. Very questionable sweater. This looks like it's the sweater of a graduated school shooter, if I'm being honest. A nice tight and bright haircut. Could possibly be looking to shoot up a mall. Graduated from the high school, now looking at a mall. Diversity is our strength.
Congratulations on 100 episodes of your podcast. Boy, you certainly have said a lot of things without really having a lot of meaning behind them.
Exactly.
Very excited to see what this next year brings. And here's to 100 more.
Oh. Did he dab up, or was that a diagonal slash? Oh, no. Very bold of him to put two Jews next right next. As some may know, Nick is Jewish, and then we have another Jew next following his video, Simon Glassman. So,
hey, congratulations, Danger Cat, on 100 episodes. It's very, very impressive to get to 100 episodes. There's very few podcasts out there that get there. I think there's the Joe Rogan podcast, and that's it. And you're right there with them in terms of hairline, information base. And
hey, man, I am losing my hair at a rapid rate these days. Now, do I keep the hat on because of that? 50-50, I would say. I don't know how to style hair. It's easier to wear a hat. And a hat also conceals, a little bit of the balding, right? I got a nice widow's peak going on. I got a beautiful widow's peak, I may add. Thanks for calling me out. What an asshole. Now I see why they put Mark Hughes' happy 6 millionth episode before these two media manipulators.
and comedy. I'm sure that all the little danger cats out there are just buzzing, so excited. Like, oh my God, my favorite podcaster and personality he's got 100 episodes. That's so exciting. And then their day worker is like, oh, hey, do you mind if I clean your diaper for you? And then they're like, okay, but do you mind if I listen to my AirPods? So anyways, thanks so much for all of the great comedy. I have never listened to a single episode, but I do like you quite a bit. Take care.
It's very nice of him to unbutton. I like the 2 buttons, revealing a little bit of the chest. Very bold of him. Very sexual of him. Why would he do that? Why would they do that?
Gay!
Oh boy, here we go. Buckle up. Gulliver twist, ladies and gentlemen. This might just need to sail right through.
Cousin,
Oh boy.
I hear you're celebrating 100 missing Indigenous women.
Oh boy.
For that, we're drinking the liquor. Fuck.
Well, and got nothing for that. That's lovely. That's good. That's exactly what we needed around here.
Hello, Uncle Hack. It's me, your friend Brad.
Hello, Brad.
Who do you think looked the craziest in your video? There was Steven, who was taking a shit while he filmed. There was Mark with the pit vipers, Ahmed, or Nick McQuick at the end. That really came out of nowhere for me. So let me know. I thought everybody looked great, and I miss you.
What the fuck was that? Just, who do you think was the craziest? Jesus. Then we got the Logfather. That was wonderful. To answer your question, Brad, well, the one that's probably going to get me in a little bit of trouble might be Gulliver at the end of the day. But you know what? We air it. We don't censor anybody's thoughts or feelings or words or expressions on this show. We haven't done that ever, I don't believe. We let it all sail. We let it all out. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to put in my notes. Some lady's trying to dox my family on Twitter right now. But we got one more and we'll get through this.
Hey, Hack, I heard about the bad news. You finally hit 100 episodes of the Uncle Hack podcast. Congratulations, you piece of shit. Wash your hole. Show the troll.
Wash the hole, show the troll. There you have it, folks. A lovely little video made by Nick McQuick. And all the Edmonton comedians, plus the Logfather at the end with a little surprise there. I got 2 stories that I wanted to get into, and then we'll get into, maybe in the second half, we'll get into the Oakville teacher and Big Trudy belting it out, plus some hate mail. First one, speaking of, thank you all those assholes for the kind words. Let's, exactly. Thanks for taking time off your day job to ensure that you can say congratulations to me. That was very kind of all of you. I am making millions and millions and kabillions of dollars on the internet while you sit at work and attempt to be comedians. And I just go on here and I'm a thousandaire. I'm a millionaire, a kabillionaire, I trade stocks. That's what I do. But this is interesting. This is before I get into some woman on Twitter trying to dox my family, which couldn't have swung and missed harder. My uncle was up here, stayed with me for this weekend. There was a little family gathering over the weekend, which was nice. Everybody got together. But my uncle my uncle stayed with me. And if you've ever seen the movie Vegas Vacation or Christmas Vacation, he is like a fucking exact resemblance of Cousin Eddie, you know, just has beers hanging off the head. Like everything about him is exactly like Cousin Eddie, and he's a fucking brilliant man to be around. And I say that loosely. He is he's so much fun to hang around. Maybe his personality just shines very bright, and I love the fact that when he sees an opportunity, he seizes it. Okay. We were at the Canadian Brew House here on the west end of Edmonton, and we're sitting there. He's having a few beers, and he's like talking about the mugs there. He goes, "Hey, I like these mugs. I'm wondering, you think they'll sell me one?" I was like, "I don't know. Go ask them. I'm sure like they'll part ways with a mug. I can't see them being too upsetty spaghetti about one mug. I'm sure you bribe one of them, they're going to let you walk out with it. They don't really care." So he leaves the table. He waltzes over there as we're about to pay up the bill, and he's back and forth. He's up to something, and then he comes back and he goes, "Hey, you got to give a little shout out on your podcast, eh?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, I told those guys, you know, if they gave me this mug, I'll make sure that you talk about this. You'll give them free advertising on the podcast. So congratulations, Loon. You did it. You got them their free advertising, and you got a mug out of it. And I'm left there with my thumb up my ass, having nothing, you know, nothing in return. Everybody got something. That's why I love my family. Okay. That's why I love my family. He's seen an opportunity. He seized it. He knew he was getting something out of it, and he just like completely left me out to dry. No, nothing. Okay. Now I will say this. They did offer me a free beer, but I was driving Uncle around the city, giving him the scope of everything. So I was keeping her pretty straight edge. Okay. We can't be fucking up too much here. So there you go. That's what I like about my family, though. You know, they'll give a fuck about to them, the celebrity or the quote unquote fame that comes with this internet bullshit. It doesn't, they're selfish. What can I get out of it? And he's seen that. And I respect the fact that he took an opportunity to use whatever success I've had in the internet game, and he used it to his advantage to make sure that he's got a new drinking mug for Sunday Night Football. You know, he made damn sure that he was getting out there with something, anything. He tried negotiating on a possible jersey, wasn't going so well, so he downgraded to a mug, which is respectable. I respect the hell out of that move. Secondly, speaking of family, there's some pig on Twitter. I should have linked it in here, but it's quite funny. Actually, to save those family members, and I say that loosely, this is like family members I don't really talk to. This girl right now is doxing them and putting their names out there of like family members that I'm not very close with at all, which is like, you know, like we talk maybe once a year, okay? Once a year. And who I'm talking about, I've aired it out a few times. Me and my actual father aren't very close, okay? My sperm donor and I aren't the closest, right? And somehow this lady has figured out his name and his wife's name. It probably doesn't help that, you know, my old man's last name is attached to my last name, and my mom has since remarried, and good luck finding it, right? And plus they aren't in the public eye. If you've listened to the Patreon episodes, you would have known that my father attempted to run for an MLA position down in Medicine Hat, and it completely tanked. It didn't go so well. You know, there was like racist memes being posted on his fucking Facebook feed, and the local news network down there, I think it's like Chat TV, wrote this big like hit piece on him. I've been trying to find it. They must have like removed it from the hard drive or some shit, losing not enough space on the old chat TVs. What do you call those fucking things where, you only get so many gigabytes a month on their hard drive? I don't know. I can't remember. Their storage fees were starting to go up, so they, cut. I'm thinking maybe that happened. They got rid of that story, which is kind of fucking funny. I've been trying to find it. It's so funny because they just hammer on him because he posted a meme that was like, "How do you circumcise a Muslim? You kick Trudeau in the jaw." And that was the big meme that set it off. And he was running for the Alberta Advantage Party, I think it was here. It's for an MLA position in the Medicine Hat riding. And that just like, that what I don't know if it went viral, but it was definitely viral in the town, which is so fucking funny. Now this lady that thinks that she's getting to me right now on Twitter by attempting to dox my family in a way, or like talk about them. You're literally talking about the two people. It's like him and his wife that, I'm airing a little bit of dirty laundry, but I won't go too deep into it because that's not funny. That's just gay to do that. But it is funny to me to think like, oh, here this lady thinks that she's going to, I got him on the ropes. But meanwhile, you're about to like go after like two people that I'm not overly close with. So now like the repercussions of our relationship not being that strong and, him being in the public eye as well are coming to nip him in the ass a little bit. And like, it's not even mean. I'm not even meaning to do it. That's the fucking crazy part. I'm not even meaning to like put this poor bastard on blast or anything, but it is hilarious that this lady, I will say, quite impressive to find out who he was in such a short little time. I'll give him that. I think that's so funny to fucking kick Trudeau in the jaw. To get into politics is such a fucking meat stick move. It shouldn't be as funny as it is, but it is hilarious to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna let her fly, and we're gonna go Trump 2.0. It worked for him, might as well work for me, right? I think it might have even been. Oh no, Trump was the president of the United States at that time. Hey, it worked for him. Let's see if it works in the local politics. Well, Trump wasn't throwing out some wild memes, but I will say that is fucking funny. Oh shit, I got myself giggling about that, but it is. Yeah, that lady thinks that she's got me on the ropes right now, and I don't know him that well, but I assume that anybody who's being harassed online is not going to take that lightly. So enjoy your time with that one. That's all I got to say. I know it can be a bit of a hothead, if a little bit of doesn't like to have the ego attacked. So if I give any recommendation, I highly recommend doing that. Bring up the wonderful MLA. I guess. God, I'm sorry. I can't stop giggling about that. I can't put words into. Oh shit! I'm fumbling over here, fumbling the ball. But yeah, I highly recommend maybe asking him a few questions about that. See if he'll run again. Pretend you're a reporter. If you're gonna troll, at least be good at it. Get it. You got to get in there. You're not gonna get much information about my personal life that I haven't said on here. All the deep and dark and dirty shit is I think I've talked about on here. All the cheating, the drug use. What else is there? I'll expose myself before anybody tries to fucking get me on the ropes. What else? I don't got much else that I could really expose myself. That's kind of a wild way of going about it. You know what? You think you're going to get me on the fucking ropes? How about this? I'll do it to my goddamn self. Enjoy this little fucking piece of information. Fuck, I've pretty much told every deep, dark tale there is to know about me on this podcast, you know, being very free with the information that I give to the general public on here. Time for a little ad read. That's right. Tour dates coming up. September 29th, Sam at Arms. September 30th, Kelowna. October 1st, Kamloops. October 14th, Edson, Alberta. October 15th, Olds, Alberta. And while this episode was playing, I just got notified that a late show for Kelowna has now been added. The first show is now sold out. So please get your tickets now to see myself, Sam Walker, Brett Forte, all in the flesh in front of you. Canada's most canceled comics. We've had venues remove our dates from us. Brett's been removed off of the CBC, and Sam Walker is banned from comedy clubs all across Alberta. So that's why we are hitting the road and coming out to venues that will allow the type of comedy that we do. And we appreciate those venues that support free speech in whatever aspect it comes. Also, if you use the code podcast69, you can get 15% off of merch. You want the big Trudy tee that's behind me? Of course you do, because it's a lovely piece of Canadian history. The iconic Trudy is also on there. That lovely photo of him in blackface with his tongue out. It's one of the, like I said, one of the most iconic photos in Canadian politics history. And you can have that in t-shirt form on your chest, to bear to the world that you support one of the greatest prime ministers. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. You like the Uncle Hack podcast? You know you love the Uncle Hack podcast. Just like the losers at the beginning of this show, they tune in every episode. They aren't comedians, they're actually fans of the show. And they subscribe to the Patreon. All of them. They subscribe to the Patreon to hear me talk more shit about what's happening in the world. There, I get away with saying a little bit more, you know, a little more $50 words. We go a little harder on there, at least attempt to. We make fun of all sorts of shit, you know. We like to be an asshole. And there is a wonderful place where you get full-blown asshole. Extra episodes every week. Thursday at 3 p.m. a extra episode, an exclusive episode, if you will, is released on the Patreon in audio and video format. Isn't that lovely? So for those watching on YouTube, you get another video on the Patreon. And for those listening in the work truck and you're like, Jesus, I need more of this moron. Guess what? You can have it. All by signing up at patreon.com/DangerCats69. And it's a wonderful way to support this show. It's a wonderful way to support the show. Don't you want to see me successful? Don't you want to see me a multi-millionaire? Don't you want to see me wearing jewelry of just with a cost attached to this jewelry? You know, maybe I'll get my ears pierced. I'll put diamond grills in my teeth. I don't know. We'll figure that out once we get there. But extra episodes plus all the roast battles that have gotten us canceled from venues are now on Patreon. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. Anyways, back to the episode. It's tough to sit back and like, quote, I guess, dox yourself, other than giving my address and shit, but that would just be stupid. Anyways, that's enough about that. Shout out to my Uncle Lonnie for taking advantage of a good situation there, getting himself a free little mug. Now, this is great. Okay, Ontario school. We'll get into the first article about this shop teacher in Oakville, Ontario, who wore prosthetic tits to teach shop class. Okay, this is from Blog Toronto. Lauren O'Neill is the blogger here. Ontario School Board defends teachers' right to wear massive prosthetic bust at work. Just a set of cannons, too. Nipples the size of shotgun shells. It's fucking Hank Hill in a wig. No, it looks like it. I don't know if you guys are big Twitter guy. If you ever seen that boomer cuck Brittle Star, it looks like maybe Brittle Star in a wig and giant cans, like some sort of anime character. A Toronto area high school teacher continues to make headlines all over the world this week for repeatedly attending class in large prosthetic breasts and clothes so revealing that, per their employee's own policy, any student would be sent home for wearing them. The educator in question, who is trans, no shit, rose to viral fame last week after students at Oakville Trafalgar High School published some controversial images from school to Snapchat. In the photos and videos shared, the teacher can be seen wearing short bicycle shorts and tops so tight that they can barely contain the massive chest prosthesis beneath them. Nipples hard as little rocks. Nipples are visible through the teacher's shirt in many of the posts. And I'm not talking about the outline of nipples. Some shirts appeared to be nearly sheer, giving students and subsequently people online a clear view of the teacher's bust piece. Oh my fucking God. You gotta be joking. An American radio host tweeted out some of the student shot footage in a new viral thread on September 14th, sparking thousands of angry and transphobic comments. One video of the chesty teacher in shop class has been viewed more than 750,000. I think it's more than that, resulting in a wave of online harassment against Oakville travel. Well, what do you expect? Come on, guys. The shop teacher, okay? The shop teacher's coming in with fake cannons to teach you how to run the scroll saw, and we're also going to do a little bit of gender identity to wrap up the woodworking class today. That's what we need, you know? That's what we need. Shop class has now been suspended due to transphobic comments online, and we're going to sit down and we're really going to get to the core issue of this, you know? Therapy. Do this on your spare time. What is happening? You know, you sit back and you ponder. Am I fucked up? You ask yourself this. You know, we all got like little sexual kinks about ourselves, right? Or am I fucked up? Now, if I went to a high school with my sexual kinks and my weird outlook on what sex is, I'd be put in fucking prison. I'd be in jail. They would lock me up, throw away the key, and I would be shunned online, similar to what this person is feeling right now. Honestly, I don't think there's a better class to talk about this rather than shop class, you know? How many kids probably go home to an angry carpenter, you know? Maybe the old man is a little chapped because he wants to cross-dress in high school. That's his kink, you know? The drywaller that comes home. Sam Walker. I'd imagine that's why he's so angry all the time. He's pent up. He's got a little bit of he's ravenous right now. He's got to release a little bit of sexual frustration because he's unable to cross-dress and go down to the high school. If I was to guess, that'd definitely be up Sam Walker's kink list, you know? When asked by Block Toronto on Friday about the teacher and the backlash to their in-class look, the Halton District School Board, which operates Oakville, said that it recognizes the rights of students, staff, and parents / guardians and community members to equitable treatment without discrimination based upon gender identity and gender expression. Gender identity and gender expression are protected grounds under the Ontario Human Rights Code. And a representative from the school board. And this is a personal matter. We cannot provide further information. Here we go. Let's bring up the tweet. Look at this. Look at this set of hammers. Oh, fuck off. Look at this set of hammers. You know, This looks like a fucking cartoon character. That long, like, drawn out mug. He's like potato shaped head in a wig with giant cans and a cock hanging out of bicycle shorts. You know, what a horrible time for these young kids too. You know, hormones are rushing through. I used to get hard about some weird shit when I was younger, and this is the last thing I need to see is a man's giant tits to kind of fuck me up further, right? I was jerking off to the wind. I'd get a slight breeze, you know, just like kind of come up the pant leg and it would tickle me the right way and I'd be hard as nails, you know. It's a weird time to be in high school. Yeah, as your hormones are shifting, you don't quite know what the fuck is going on. You're just hard all the time. You want to fuck, but you don't know what fucking is. You haven't popped your cherry yet. Thankfully, all the porn and all these, you know, teachers coming in with massive tits gives you something to jerk off to. Nipples the size of shotgun shells. If anything, he's giving these kids a little something to take home with. A little memory in the spank bank. You remember Mr. Trubisky? You remember he had the nicest tits. He had the greatest tits. You know, this is back in my day, I remember our religion teacher, I'll refrain from saying her name, but it was a gorgeous gal. And that was a rough time to be going through puberty when you plant some lovely looking, fresh out of university, firm body mixed in with, you know, you got all these young girls developing acne and all this. Then you plant a goddess in front of us. Not only that, but to teach religion class where we're supposed to contain those inner evils. And here you put this God's piece of work right in front of us as we're all going through the horniest stages of our lives, right? Now, out in Ontario, those young boys got to go through something a little different. This is gender expression and acceptance all mixed into one, right? Back in my day, we would have talked about, for the sake of not revealing her name, we'll call Mrs. Bloomington. Miss Bloomington. Now, Miss Bloomington, you know, back in my day, that's what we taught. Back in my day, Mrs. Bloomington came in and her tiny little whale tail poked out of her pants every now and then, and it would set off fireworks in that classroom. It was like the 4th of July in there of just like pre-cum and pants, just Bonerville Central. You got even just a glimpse of a thong back then. Now look at this. These ungrateful kids these days. This guy took it upon himself to put on the biggest tits you could possibly imagine. Nipples poking right through. Shaft. Nice and hard along the thigh. In biker shorts. But the fact that he's revealing some nipple for these, you know, these kids are in here trying to use the scroll saw. Trying to learn how to use the scroll saw and build a birdhouse to put in the backyard that dad doesn't want hanging up back there. And these poor kids got to sit here and just stare the devil in the eye. They got to stare the devil. I can't believe I'm hard over this. You know? I cannot believe that my rig. It was like, you remember when, you know what this is equivalent to make you understand for those over 30 that listen to this podcast. You remember when you were a young lad and there was always the old substitute teacher that just didn't die, but always had like the cleavage reveal going on. Always had those old saggy bombs supported by like some bra from the 1960s. Hasn't thrown it out, and the cleavage was always on site. There'd be like a lean over to show you how to do a bath quiz, and you'd look to the side and it would just be 18 inches of cleavage because those hammers just hung and they were heavy. And that right there was the valley of death. and you thought about that, and it's weird. Those are weird thoughts to have as your hormones are rushing through the chemical imbalance, and you're trying to figure out your voice is squeaking, acne's popping, you're growing a little bit, your nuts are dropping, and it's testosterone, hard dicks all day long. This is a weird episode. I'm talking about a lot of underage erectile penises, but I'm referring to my own, okay? I'm referring to my own from here on out, and that's why these kids are walking. There it is. Fuck. Prison sentence. But these kids now have to sift through this. They have to get through this life as a teenager, accepting this, not knowing what is this right? Is it wrong? Should I fuck that? Should I not? You know, Mr. Trubinsky's over here with his giant fake hammers. And, well, hate to say it, not bad. Not bad. Never seen nipples that hard before. It's good for the kids. It's good for the kids, you know. What more does this blog have to tell us about? Okay, here we go. We strive to promote and support a positive learning environment in schools, consistent with the values of the school board, continued the statement, and to ensure a safe and inclusive learning and working environment for all students, staff, and the community, regardless of race, age, ability, sex, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, ethnicity, religion, cultural observance, socioeconomic circumstances, or body type / size. Sounds like the list of things that you can't joke about every venue. So the school... okay. So we got to learn about these things, but we can't joke about them. It's very confusing up here in Canada. Clown world. This is like... We are turning into the most laughable country. So we might as well laugh together, right? Many agree that the teacher who reportedly transitioned and changed their name last year has the right to express their gender identity at school. Some are suggesting, however, that it's unfair to allow this teacher to wear something that's so revealing when Oakville High School's website literally stipulates that dress codes must prevent students from wearing clothing that exposes and makes visible genitals and nipples. Well, okay, in an email to parents, defends, because you can't. If you went the other way and you fired this person, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have those psychos that just like, they're 3 shade shorts of bombing the fucking school because you won't fly the pride flag, you know? It's gone the opposite way. This is the Rainbow Army will storm the front gates, and that will be its fucking beaches in Normandy. The beaches of Oakville. That's a new reality series that I just came up with right now. And beaches is spelled like a little fun. You know, like instead of saying bitches, it'll be like the beaches. Hello, beaches, right? And we're going to have 6 transgender and very gender expressive teachers that you know, maybe there's a trans man that wants to get in the game. We got a trans woman with giant fake tits. We need like a non-binary furry to teach science class, because we got is it a dude with boobs or a chick with tits? Or no, what is it? A chick with a dick. My bad. A dude with boobs or chicks with dicks. Well, that's not very inclusive. Jesus Christ. But this show will expose the holes of society, okay? What we're missing, okay? How the world isn't very inclusive when it comes to gender expression and what we need to do to combat that, all while teaching you how to build a birdhouse for your father, who's going to be very upset because, you know, he's got 3 birdhouses from the other 2 kids from the other past years. So now we got ravens and all these shitty birds and pigeons and crows just lurking around the backyard, making a fucking god-awful amount of noise. And he wants to kick his feet up, but no, mom just wants the birdhouse. It's nice, honey, when you walk out. And dad just wants to fucking crack a beer, sit in the backyard, and listen to nothing. But no, we're putting up a 3rd birdhouse. We're putting up a 3rd birdhouse that Jeremiah built while learning about gender expression from his teacher with shotgun shell nipples. Huh, what a world. And the old man, that's why the old man's getting upset. Teach the kid whatever you want. He's doomed for nothing. He's doomed to be nothing, you know? Again, a guy has a difficult time even running a fucking broom. The school remains steadfast in its stance, however, reportedly sending an email to parents saying, "We are aware of discussion on social media and in the media regarding Oakville High School. We would like to take this opportunity to reiterate to our community that we are committed to establishing and maintaining a safe, caring, inclusive, equitable, and welcoming learning and working environment for all students and staff." The email went on to share the same statement given to Blog Toronto on both Friday and Monday. A representative for the board also told Blog Toronto on Monday that Twitter users were wrong when sharing what they believe to be the pre-transition name of the educators in question. That's the big issue here, is that they were dead naming him. Holy shit. Holy shit. The school board's like, I can't believe you're dead naming this strong woman. Unreal. The rep said that another individual at the school was mistakenly identified and is not related to this matter. Is there more to this? Oh, God. Why is it, you know, let's bring up that. Why is it the school systems are now like turning into like the Catholic Church, you know, those children don't matter. They don't matter. This is now about us. It's about us expressing ourselves. Now, I spent the better portion of my high school years bullied, made fun of. I was called a fag. I was called all these names. And the only way I'm able to change it is by becoming a high school teacher and going back to that very high school and teaching them exactly what I'm about. Fuck the curriculum. Can't even see. I'm trying to make fun of a curriculum and I cannot even say the word. All those guys in the beginning of the video suddenly now look smarter than me for talking all this shit. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, enjoy the decline, you know, enjoy the fall of what was once a wonderful nation, what your grandpa fought for back in World War II to ensure that we were the most safe, progressive. We fought for freedom. This is what he fought for. So we can all go out and be what we want to be. You know, your grandfather picked up a rifle to go fight Nazis to ensure that, you know, old fucking Dr. Finkelstein here can put on his fake shotgun shell prosthetic nipple tits, come waltzing into the high school and teach the kids how to build birdhouses. You know, this is what grandpa did, you know. And if anybody questions or asks what the fuck is going on there, well, we're inclusive. We're inclusive. They just shut down conversation by trying to like hide behind like, well, this is how we're being inclusive. This is a little bit insane, isn't it? This is a bit much, is it not? Like, First off, how far away are we before, sex ed class is the hockey team running a train on this? That's wrong. I shouldn't have said that. That's a bit much. That's the shit that'll get you canceled. There's the soundbite that'll end me up in prison. Jesus. That's incredible, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful at the end of the day that, we can be who we want to be, Now, with that being said, some of us just want to be left alone and be racist and misogynist. We ask for that same in return. What is it? Inclusivity, by allowing us just to be ourselves. I identify as a African-American Klansman. It's very difficult when I go to rallies because I certainly enjoy rap music and talking in movie theaters. But as time goes on and time marches on, the gentlemen down there in the KKK have accepted me for who I am. And thankfully, it is great to proudly come out as the first African-American Canadian or African-Canadian Klans member of the Alabama chapter. So thank you. It's difficult at times, it's a struggle. It's very difficult for them to be accepting of my ways and my values, how I see the world through a racist white man's eyes while being African Canadian, not even being a part of the country itself, let alone living in the state. But here I sit before you in Edmonton, Alberta, as a member, as a sitting member that has not been invited or been to any rallies of any sort, but very progressive, I may add. Very progressive of me to do this and take such a stance as a black Canadian. A black queer Canadian. There it is. Black queer is my last name for those that don't know. Black gay. It sounds funnier when you say black queer. Black queer. Used to get made fun of in high school about that all the time. Hey, you little fucking queer. Anyways, let's move on. I'm bored of that. Let's get into Big Trudy belting it out. This is when we're wanting to be represented on the world stage, right? When we want to be represented on the world stage, what do? We send our finest over. And now, did he or did he not know that there was going to be a little bit of karaoke taking place over there? I'm not too sure. But I will admit that it is lovely that we send over our best whenever we do anything, right? So while we may be the one country, I think, whoa, that was too much. Now, with Canada being a part of the monarch, it is lovely that our prime minister is so fucking retarded that he's able to go over there and represent us as Canadians on the world stage to the exact degree of what we are, the overall feel of this country. So here it is. Trudeau spotted singing Bohemian Rhapsody days before the Queen's funeral. Prime Minister joined by other members of the Canadian delegation, according to the Prime Minister's office. A video of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau singing Bohemian Rhapsody just days before the Queen Elizabeth's funeral kicked off a debate on social media, with some criticizing Trudeau for the lack of decorum. In a video circulating on social media, Trudeau is seen standing over a piano singing "Easy come, easy go, little high, little low, anywhere the wind blows," from the hit song UK rock band Queen. The serenading occurred on Saturday night in the lobby of a hotel, according to the statement from Trudeau's office. Now, oh, fuck. Is it going to be a commercial? Oh, this is it, baby. Let's get Big Trudy. Okay. In studio audience. They're jacked up. I'm jacked up. Let's watch this. He is a goddamn showman. You hear him putting it all in there? You hear him? Know who he's like. Get the fuck out of the way. We want to rewatch this. It's one more time for the people at home. Rewind this shit. Fuck off. We don't give a fuck about no goddamn corgis. See, not too many people will put the honest effort into embarrassing a nation the way that this man does. So,
Come on, man.
with that being said, you gotta respect the effort. Not anybody, not just anybody's going to hop on a plane, fly overseas, and then completely embarrass a whole nation the way that this man does. So everybody needs to stand up and show their goddamn respect to a man that's willing to do so. Are you kidding me? Would you hop into a private plane, fly overseas, and embarrass your nation the way that this guy does? Of course you wouldn't. Because you don't have the balls to do so. You don't have the balls. You wouldn't wake up in this. You barely embarrass your family when you're hammered at a family reunion telling grandma you wish you would just die so that way you can finally get that inheritance payment. That's the type of embarrassing things that happen in your life. No, and that's on a very small scale. That's just maybe between 30 to 40 people. This guy right here is embarrassing a whole nation on the world stage. And you guys have the audacity to sit back and criticize this man. Criticize every one of his moves that he does over there. It takes a fucking hero to do that. Do you think it's easy painting your face black? Do you think it's easy painting your face black? Do you think it's easy to wake up in the morning and tell yourself, you know what? For the 5th time in my life, I am going to drench myself in shoe polish and head down to the Arabian Nights and give everybody a show and embarrass not only my family, but the fucking country that I'm born in? No. It's incredibly hard. At the end of the day, it is incredibly hard to do so. But he does a damn good job of it. And I'm tired of everybody walking around being like, and he did it again. We should be embracing the fact that he is such a loser. The whole world recognizes it. The whole planet, that this man is a complete jackass. And that takes talent, okay? Not everybody is going to stand up and put their all into singing Bohemian Rhapsody in front of, probably some of the most powerful people on the planet and completely embarrass himself and look like the weakest leader that the planet does have right now. There's nations out there that we don't even know the names of the fucking country whose leaders are respected more than this man. Do you know how hard it is to be hated this much? Do you know how hard it is to be this embarrassing to your family? Some of you know. It can be difficult, It's difficult to get that hammered at Thanksgiving and start airing all your dirty laundry, Start telling the family about all the deep, dark secrets that the cousins don't know about quite yet because they're not of the age to really understand of the skeletons in the closet that exists. through the years and years and who hates who fucked whose wife, you know? We keep that shit under wraps. Not this guy. Not Big Trudy. Not old Blackface. Not old Blackface. He puts on his rainbow socks, waltzes down to the lobby of that hotel that he's staying in, sees that there's a piano, and he looks at that fucking guy and he says, can you start smashing some keys to Bohemian Rhapsody and allow me to belt out the lyrics with the most enthusiasm you will see. More enthusiastic than some of the speeches of him trying to convince you that the nation as a whole is racist, misogynistic, and has extremist views. That's very convincing. But to convince the world that you're a fucking moron is truly beautiful. And we get to watch this here as Canadians. We get to witness this together. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful that the embarrassment, the shame, and the guilt of knowing that you voted for this is recognized worldwide? Not too many people. You ungrateful bastards. You ungrateful bastards. Truly, you need to look deep inside yourself and ask yourselves, why don't I appreciate this landslide of a human being? Why is that? Why is it when he does blackface for the 19th time that I can't appreciate it? I can't appreciate the effort it takes to paint your kneecaps, and even in the backs of the knees where it gets really sweaty and it leaks, and somehow he's managed to ensure that even there, the shoe polish won't leak. That takes talent, okay? That takes talent, dedication, something that you're not willing to do. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And with that being said, that's about all we needed to say about that. I don't need to go any further. I think I've said my piece with what comes with the territory of having Big Trudy in office. Our prime minister is so goddamn good at embarrassing us. It's like, when you're about 14 or 15 years old and your father, you start to realize that he's a bit of a dipshit, You start gathering your own thoughts. Growing up, you're like, oh, he's a great guy. And then once you get to like the age of 16, you can see him for who he really is because you've been around different adults finally. Some that act normal, He's over here always trying to be the center of attention. We all have a family member like that, right? Always trying to be the center of attention. And it's truly embarrassing. He doesn't realize how big of a fucking moron he actually is, right? Some of you may have family members, maybe even a father like this. And everywhere you go, embarrasses the whole family because the guy just can't contain himself, just can't not be a showman, right? Couldn't quite make it in some sort of, aspect of entertainment. Maybe he was in some shitty garage band that went nowhere in high school. They thought that they were going to be touring the world, the next Motley Crue. And it all crumbled beneath him because he knocked up your mother. Or maybe, maybe he thought to himself, I'm going to be one of the best radio hosts that the world has ever seen. And that came to a screeching halt because a radio DJ salary might not be the most sufficient to raise a family on. I don't know, never quite looked into it. But there's moments where he gets to shine, where he gets to be himself for 15 seconds. He can shovel away all the horse shit that he has to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and he just gets to be himself, and it's the most embarrassing, brutal 15 minutes of your existence beside him. And you don't appreciate the lengths that he's willing to go to try and be the next big thing. We're going to see Big Trudy on The Masked Singer. We're going to see Big Trudy on The Masked Singer, and you're not going to know who he was because of the beautiful performance that he's going to give. And that's the type of shit that we need in this country. That's the type of leadership. We're willing to show people how great we are as Canadians, that we're willing to embarrass ourselves at the Queen's funeral. That's truly beautiful. That is truly fucking beautiful. We need more people like that, you know? We need more people like that. I got some good news. I got some great news, by the way. We got hate mail. Oh, no. Turn that off. Stop the song. Maybe that's our intro song. Okay. We got hate mail today. It's wonderful that we have the capabilities on this show to, you know, use Photoshop to our advantage, that you send us our hate mail. It's completely anonymous. So if you do want to write some hateful shit, and I don't care what it's about, maybe we switch up the fan question. Maybe we switch things up for a little while. Maybe you hate someone. Maybe you hate me. Maybe you hate your boss. Maybe you hate certain things. Maybe you hate the fact that society is changing and you're not progressive enough. How long is this fucking thing? Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go. It's supposed to be the wrap up. The big finish. Oh, that's beautiful. There's our hate mail fucking intro. Isn't that nice? But you can email me at unclehack@dangercats.tv with whatever hateful shit you need to get off your chest. Maybe you hate reporters. Maybe you hate journalists. Maybe you hate the blog that I just read. I don't know. Maybe you hate somebody and you need some advice. I don't care how you write it, but we're gonna change it up. Fan questions, gay, out the window. It's not 2022. Enough. We need hate mail. That's all that's on the internet is hatred, and we will move forward with it. We need more of it, if you ask me. So we encourage you. Send some hate mail. Get it off your chest. Call me a fag for all I care. I don't care. Say whatever you want. Dox my family. You want to dox my family? Dox my family. Why don't you? Annoy them as much as they annoy me. They're getting free shit off of me. Annoy them. Write an email hating on them for all I care. We need to get the viewership of this show up, and I don't know how to do it. And I'm willing to go to great lengths that some of you aren't. Anyways, we're getting a little out of control over here. Hate mail. We got our first piece of hate mail on the show, and we're going to read it for you. Maybe give a comment on it. All right. Anyways, let's get into it. Hate mail. So you want hate mail, huh? Don't you realize that hockey and brackets, any other sports game for that matter, is propped up in society to keep the eyes and minds off useless dupes such as yourself on the ball so that you wouldn't look into deeper problems that are going on in this world, such as legitimacy of slavery by government. People base their whole identity around this form of mind control and even cry like stupid little fucking babies if their team loses. And you have created a whole show around this idea. Granted, everybody needs downtime and relief at times, but the people that are making that their priority in life, supporting and or playing children's games, are one of the dumbest and ignorant life forms walking the earth. I do love your show as my downtime relief, and you remind me of myself back when I was an ignorant fuck. So keep it up. You put a smile on people's faces. Much love, Pasquinel. That is very kind of you to write this into the show. It's very nice of you to get that off your chest. Now, I know a lot of people probably enjoy their downtime devoting their last bit of brain storage to consuming any sort of what you put. Did you put sports game? Any sort of sports game. You need some downtime. You need to relax. You can't be revving at 3,000 RPMs all the fucking time, 6,000, 9,000, whatever it's got to be. Your motor's going to blow. You can't read global news day in, day out. You can't turn on CNN and listen to Don Lemon's lips fucking slap now, can ya? Sometimes you need the hockey game. Sometimes you just need to kick your feet up and enjoy the stupid, mindless, athletic abilities of those that are always going to be better than you, make more money than you, all by contributing a little bit of their athletic abilities to television and making sure that us, the dumbed down society, tunes in so that way the advertisers keep rolling in, baby. They just keep rolling in, and we make the rich richer while we sit back with our thumb up our ass watching a game that means nothing. Just means nothing. That's the joy of North America, right? We send our leader over to sing Bohemian Rhapsody in the hotel lobby of some fucking shack downtown London with other elites, actually with other morons of the Canadian delicacy, whatever it may be. See what I mean? The dumbing of Canadian society, the dumbing of American society is on the forefront. I am the one to look at and be like, yeah, he's leading the charge. All these idiots are lined up behind him, and he's just spouting off. He's like a street preacher. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, he could die. Somebody else is just going to fill his boots and we'll forget about him in about 6 months. He's a moron. He's an idiot. We don't need him. We don't want him, right? That's why we put on the sports game. That's why we tune into the NHL. That's why we have a little fucking fun time playing fantasy football like myself. Even though I may not know anything about football or the players inside of the game, it's always nice to just, sit back with other morons inside the league and pretend that, we give a shit. Pretend that we're making a difference. That we're out there attempting to keep the nation dumber. And we thank you, Pasquinel, I think I'm saying that right, for writing in some hate mail. You are the first person to ever write a piece of hate mail into the show, and we appreciate that. We wish we had more. We wish we had more. So we encourage you to write in a hateful piece into the show. You could be talking shit about me, your neighbor, your girlfriend, your wife, husband, boyfriend, your fuck piece. Maybe your side piece is pissing you off, getting a little too in love, and you just wanted side dick or some side pussy. I don't know. So totally up to you. We'll review the situation. We'll take and we'll read this right here on this show. And while with that being said, please check out our tour dates. We might be coming to a town near you. We're going to be heading more east here in the late fall. So stay tuned with stand-up dates being released with myself, Brett Forte, and Sam Walker. DangerCatShop.com for tickets. And hopefully see you live in the flesh, and you can tell me to my face that I am gay and retarded, and you hate listening to my podcast because it's stupid, and your girlfriend can't fathom the hour and 14 minutes of you forcing her to listen to this shit. Or maybe there's some people in the work truck that you despise, so you put this on, and my voice is the one annoying the shit out of them, and you get an hour and a half of peace while them fucking losers sit in the back of the truck and have to consume this garbage. And we thank you for that. Anyways, enjoy yourselves out there.